Earlier this month, I visited the Mercedes Museum in Stuttgart. This video is a slideshow of photos that I have taken with some comments. Compared to other manufacturers' museums that I also visited this time, contents of which are forthcoming, the Mercedes Museum is more substantial and better curated. There, you can thoroughly experience Mercedes' rich pre-war and post-war history, including in racing. A feeling that you won't shake off, which is also one that many who know the brand probably already share, is that Mercedes is embarrassed of its more recent passenger cars. The exhibition guides visitors through the history of the brand, starting with the early days of motor cars by Benz, Daimler, and Maybach. While this is less interesting to me, they are followed by much improved models from the early 20th century. Together, these two sections consist of a large collection of well-preserved examples with significant historic value. Along the main timeline section, the Mercedes Museum also has an add-on section with a thematic focus. On this level, it covers some of the most important models for the manufacturer. The 300 SEL 6.3 and the 300 SLR with its transporter are personal favorites, while some of the post-war diesel trucks are also memorable highlights. One level down, the timeline section enters the interwar era, when some of the more exuberant vehicles were made in the Weimar Republic, as they were in France, Britain, Italy, and the US. More notable models include the S, SS, and SSK, which showcased the Germans' love for the latter, the 500K and 540K touring cars, and the 770K Grosser. In the history section connecting the timeline sections, one can also find some Mercedes aero engines, including the infamous DB601 inverted V12. A notable feature of aero V12 engines that I was not aware of is the fork and blade double connecting rod that allows cylinders in both banks to be perfectly in line, eliminating the rocking couple found in automotive V engines. In the post-war era, the 300S, 300SL, 300SLR, and their variants are models that make Mercedes the proudest. Today, these represent the most sought-after models, especially the SLR, which was last sold for 135 million euros. One level down in the adjacent section, the museum showcases a few cars with strong provenance, with the armored 600 Pullman that used to transport foreign state officials being my personal favorite. The last thematic section is on models from the 90s onward. Here, we are reminded of the brand's decline since the mid-90s. My personal favorites on show include the E60 AMG, the 190E 2.5-16 Evolution 2, and the SLR McLaren. The last level of the museum focuses on the manufacturer's racing pedigree, which is arguably the most decorated among German automakers, if we take its decades-long voluntary absence into consideration. More exciting are the racing trucks on display here. Unfortunately, while the layout of this exhibit is visually impressive, the cars are kept too far away from visitors for an intimate feel. Overall, the Mercedes Museum is definitely worth a visit. A tip that I found later is that you may get a discount on the ticket if you visit the Porsche Museum first.